It's getting more and more difficult to hire a great salesperson. Getting those leads, getting that person to make phone calls, getting inbound leads through anything, LinkedIn, social media, paid ads, it's all a hard slog. We interview Dina Buchanan, who has some guaranteed formulas for fantastic return on investments. In 14 words or less, she can help you gain hundreds of high-end leads and clients monthly from LinkedIn. Essentially, she allows you to focus on selling and scaling instead of failing at marketing. Dina will help you to eliminate the stress of wondering where your next clients are coming from. Dina shows us the positive side of outsourcing your inbound leads and getting more business. Talk Commerce is sponsored by Haifa, or as the Europeans say, Hufa, or the right way to say it. Hufa is rapidly becoming the biggest Magento front end after Luma. For those who don't know it, Luma is the basic theme that comes with Magento, and it is giantly slow. If you're looking for a template-based front end with the fastest loading times in the e-commerce industry while saving costs on development time and hosting infrastructure, Hufa is your best option. Everybody loves a fast site, including Google. Improve your Google ranking and conversion rates and make your customers happy. Learn more at hyva.io. That's hyva.io. My name is Brent Peterson, and I'm your host. Please remember to subscribe wherever you download your podcasts. And now, Talk Commerce. Welcome to this episode of Talk Commerce. Today I have Dina Buchanan. Dina is calling in from sunny Florida. She is the Director of Business Strategy for Core Digital Marketing. Dina, go ahead, introduce yourself, do a much better job than I did. Tell us your day-to-day role and maybe one of your passions in life.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm Dina Buchanan, and I am the Director of Business Strategy for the High-End Client Program, Core Digital Marketing. And what we do is we help business owners who really want to ramp up their lead generation or maybe are stuck in a situation where they don't know how to do that. We help our business owners break through and have an opportunity to really generate high-end clients and traffic coming into their businesses. So I get to work with amazing business owners every single day and work with an amazing team of people who are completely dedicated and committed to helping business owners achieve their full potential.
Before we dive into topics, I promised that we would do a free joke. So let's do a free joke first. And so the goal of our free joke is I'm just going to tell you the joke, and then you can tell me if it should be free or if it should be paid.
Okay.
Being a human cannonball has to be the worst job there is. You have to worry about getting fired every day.
Okay. I think that's a free one.
Fair enough. I appreciate you joining in on that. All right, so let's dive into more important topics. Let's talk about entrepreneurs and new business owners that haven't thought about a marketing strategy, or maybe they're a little bit hesitant about even spending money on marketing.
Right.
Talk about that strategy and some tips and why a new business owner, or even an existing business owner, isn't spending as much time on marketing as they...
Brent, I think a lot of business owners, they fall under the mindset of cost versus value. So the cost of something weighs heavy on a small business owner, particularly any business owner, and it's definitely something that has to be taken into account. However, if we're just focusing on what something costs and not what the return on investment will be, that's where business owners can fall short. Because a lot of business owners think that if they are keeping costs down, that's going to keep their business thriving. But it's actually opposite. It's what the value is of what they're investing into. So it's about taking that capital and putting it someplace where it's got the maximum full potential to grow that business. Because with business, and I'm sure a lot of people know this, but there's no neutral in business. Your business is either growing or it's dying. it could be dying slower. And if there's no sales or there's not consistent, predictable sales, that's when business owners, they start to scramble and they look to try to do a lot of this themselves. And they're just not the experts. Most people are not the experts in the marketing or driving lead generation. They're experts at what they do and what they produce, whether it's real estate or widgets or any kind of product. They're the expert at that, which is what they should focus on. And then maybe get a plan, which is another piece to this, is maybe having a plan to be able to implement marketing and a strategy that gets them the consistent business coming in. Because without sales, none of it really matters.
Yeah, and I think sometimes owners confuse marketing, SEO, and just general overall strategy for growing your business with, against, say, PPC or paid ads, where
Right.
one is a faucet that you can turn on, but it costs a lot of money. Marketing is a strategy that you have to look forward more than a week.
Absolutely. And one is going to be designed to build awareness and brand awareness and awareness that the business exists. That's probably one of the first things to distinguish. That doesn't necessarily mean because somebody has a website, for example, or somebody has a presence that it's enough. It's got to be optimized. It's got to be optimized to draw to them their target clients. And most people, they don't know how to do that. And there's options. Like somebody can go ahead and spend their time to try to learn how to do that. But that is also a big cost because now they're taking their focus away from what they really do well and not putting it where it needs to be to help generate and keep their product line and their assembly line going for their business versus having this as a system that is going to generate continued, consistent, predictable results that they can count on.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, and there's two things that I want to unpack out of that. Number one, is there's a concept called the shiny object, and it's, I think, Traction is a book. It's a great read if you want to be an entrepreneur. The shiny object pulls you away from something that you should be doing. I think a lot of times business owners want to cut costs, so they do their own marketing, and maybe they're not good at it, right? So their shiny object is, I'm going to spend 20 hours a week on marketing when I could be closing client deals.
Yeah.
The other part is having some kind of maybe KPIs or something to show that, hey, I'm going to give my marketing to Dina, and how do I know how successful that is? And then as we alluded to, the 7 days, how much time should I give this to be successful?
It really depends on the system somebody is using. Not everybody is going to do this the same way necessarily in their thought process. And a lot of times, just to go back for a second, it is dependent on that business owner and what the results are that they need. People need business today, right? It's not like it should not take a month, 2 months, 3 months. The implementation of an effective, predictable system should be felt within probably maybe the first 48 to 72 hours of putting in. There should be some kind of influx happening. And if it's not, that's another mindset issue that they keep thinking, all right, then I just have to adjust this or do this. But they really don't know what they're adjusting if they don't have KPIs, as to your point. If they don't know what the baseline is or the expectation is for that system, if it's not tried and proven, that's another thing. Is it something that, did they read something and try to implement something, or is it something that's tried and proven? If it's something that's tried and proven, you got KPIs, you got a baseline, you have measure of expectation, and within a couple of days, a week, there should be some adjustments made to have some traction if it's a system that's tried and proven.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify, too, that the 48 to 72 hours, if you're a business selling a new service, until you create awareness around that, or you pay for ads, there's going to be a ramp-up time to get to that.
Sure. If they are a brand new business and nobody knows they exist, it's about really optimizing their presence as well as target their customers and really getting the voice in front of those people, because those are the people they want to capture. Those are the people that they really want to talk to. I had a business owner that I was talking and working with on the phone, and I gave this example. I said, if you were standing on a stage and you had an audience of 1,000 people, random people, maybe 2 or 3% of that audience would want your service or need your service. Versus if you've got targeted marketing, somebody that's professional, that is lining you up and really projecting to who you need to project to, now your whole audience should be engaged. And so that's the difference, I think, between just ready, fire, aim and a plan and a system.
Yeah, it's such a great point. It is, you can't be everything to everyone. And I think a lot of mistake new entrepreneurs make is that they just say yes to everything, right? And in saying yes to everything, sometimes you lose focus on what you're good at, and that goes away from that target that you're shooting for. So we've talked about marketing as brand awareness, which brand awareness takes time. Talk a little bit about that targeted marketing and how an entrepreneur, a business owner has a product or service, and they can try to get some traction on that in that first 3 days.
If we understand, one of the things we do when we work with our clients is we get them super crystal clear on who that target market is. And a lot of times business owners, because, to use your phrase, like that shiny object syndrome, right? They're like, everybody, I will work with anybody and everybody. And that's true. It's not untrue. However, if we really dial this in and we really drill down, there is going to be a common denominator for that business owner, for their product, for their service, that is going to be their ideal client, their ideal person, right? And targeting those people consistently will generate consistent results. And that's the piece that I think a lot of business owners, for a lot of reasons, like we talked about cost versus value, the things that go on in their head. And a lot of people think that because they're a good business owner and they're really good at this, they should be really good at this piece as well. And what we find is the opposite is true. And having something that can build them the bridge to get that which they need here to impact what's over here, which is their business. And that's where their focus should be.
If we were to put some of these, let's call them inbound or trying to get inbound leads into buckets, we have a BDR, somebody that's making phone calls, we have paid ads, we have social. What are the strategies that you would recommend to try to get somebody up and rolling quicker than just straight up making a website and depending on SEO?
That's a great question. One of the things that I think is a total misunderstanding is if I build this great website and people come and see my website, that it's going to automatically generate a lead. Well, it'll generate awareness for sure, okay, but it may not generate the business. There's got to be something that drives the business to the entrepreneur, to the service. So it could be something on their website, but there is another external that needs to be driving that traffic. And so it could be paid ads. It could be getting with a company that specializes in doing that and setting an entire system up that is going to give the consistent, predictable results. Because at the end of the day, how I look at it, being a business owner and doing what I do, I think that you're going to pay either way. I think the worst way to pay in a business is with time. The time that we spend trying to figure it out is exponentially more costly than aligning with an expert that is really good at it. For example, a business owner that would be like a business owner doing their own taxes or something that would be done more effectively by somebody that is an expert in that field, getting paid to do just that. It really goes back down to that time value aspect. Where's your time going to be spent the most valuable, and how can we drive that traffic in the fastest to get the traction we need to get the momentum with business?
Do you see a big difference in the way the economy is now as it was before and what business owners are doing now to succeed in marketing?
I know that I categorize people in, you got smart people versus very smart people. And the smart people, they're smart. They're actually the ones that have figured a lot of stuff out on their own, so it's worked for them. So they go back to that tried and proven, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then this other group over here, they're smart, but they're smart, very smart or smarter in the sense that they look at what's the path of least resistance, because there's an element there of time that they know is on their side. And if they can really exponentialize that and close that window, they can get there better, quicker, stronger, faster, even than this guy who's super smart, right? Because it's not about working harder, which is what this smart guy does. It's about working smarter and really maximizing that. And I think that when economics does what it does, I think as a business owner, one of the things I've seen, and my husband and I have both seen in our businesses, is the one thing constant is change. So things are always going to go up, they're always going to go down. What that means is we have to be even more sure and more certain in a system, in what we're doing to continue to generate. So however that looks for that business owner. And for most business owners that are successful in navigating the economics, it's usually because they get help from the experts. They seek out coaches, mentors, people that have been there, done that many times through many challenging waters. And those are the people that usually triumph.
Yeah, I think what I hear you saying is that anybody starting a new business, or if you don't have a marketing strategy in place, you need to talk to somebody like you to help them get there to start something.
Yeah.
If somebody came to you then and they wanted to hold you accountable to whatever you're going to do, you have that top 5 KPIs that you would tell them, hey, here's what is going to be successful in this campaign, or here's what's successful in our overall marketing strategy?
So everything that I would do for somebody would be customized, first of all, to their. If I'm working with somebody that's a real estate agent versus somebody that's got a consulting business, or somebody that's got a technology company or media company, you know, what their needs are and what their target audience are going to be different. So the first thing I'd want to do is customize, find out where they are right now. What are they producing now? What do they want to be producing? And what's the variation there? And how do we bridge that gap? And what are the current things that they have going that they're doing? And then we have a system in our business with high-end client that actually does that. So they work with a business strategist and sit down. And that's one of the things they talk about is, let's look at where you are versus where you want to be, and the expectations and how you get there and how you measure that and how quickly can you get there? What's possible, right? Depending on the service, and if it's real estate, how quickly can they close a deal, right? They might get a client in a day or two, but that doesn't mean they're going to close on the house in a day or two. It could take 60 days, 90 days, depending on the size and area, what they're doing.
Yeah, real estate is a good example of it.
Yeah.
Could be a very short turnaround, or it could be a very long turnaround on that. So I want to talk a little bit about managing expectations then. If you have a new client and they're getting 100 visitors a month on their website, but they would like to get 200 leads a month, how do you walk them through the reality of, hey, you need traffic to get leads?
So one of the things that we do is we have a system that, like I said, we customize for our clients, and we work primarily on LinkedIn platform, and we get in with our clients and we customize and optimize their pages so that traffic is being driven to them. So it's not like they actually have to go out and cold call. Leads actually come to them. And that's what a good marketing system should do. It's not about getting a piece of paper with a name and a number and hoping it works out. It's about getting an actual client that's going to come to you and say, hey, I want to use your service. I want you to list my home. I want you to help me find a home, or whatever the service is that they're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's great. And so this is outside of, say, just doing LinkedIn ads, right? You're helping them to leverage the network that's out there on LinkedIn to bring more traffic to them, to that salesperson, and then that would in turn maybe bring more traffic to the website?
Yeah. Actually, they'll get, if they're working with us and me, they're going to actually get clients driven to them. regardless of their website. And I would definitely have a website for sure for awareness, but that's not really the focus for us. Is just really the focus for us is helping them get clients, like immediately.
And do you focus on other platforms outside of LinkedIn? Or do you think LinkedIn
it can be used on other platforms as well.
So some businesses may be suited to Facebook?
Yeah, they could be. But primarily we use LinkedIn because it's a more professional platform. You've got 400 million people on there. Average median income is around 110,000. So it fits for a majority of our clients. But again, it's not the only thing that you can use it with.
If you were to give some tips to a business person or entrepreneur for marketing, what would be the, say, top 5 tips that you could think for them?
So the top 5 things, first of all, know your limits. Know what you know, right? And if you don't know something, get help. That would be the first thing. And make a plan to fit marketing help, coaching with an expert. If you put a business plan together and you don't include, you can try to use marketing money yourself, or you can put it with somebody, an expert, a company, a coach, that's going to help you really maximize those dollars. That's where you're going to get your biggest return. Because if you try something on your own and you don't have any KPIs or any way to measure, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It's a gamble versus a plan. So I would say 1, if you can, get some help. 2, when you're making your budget, make sure you budget in for marketing. I would say 3, be very aware of who you work with, their reputation, and really make sure that you're identifying and you've connected with them and that they care about you and they have your best interest for your business and you at heart. I think it's really important about who you do business with as well. Make sure you've got something that's tried and proven, right? If you're going to use something tried and proven, and probably 5, have a way to test and measure where you are, where you want to be, how you're getting there, and it should be measurable within a shorter period of time, not months, not years, like within days or weeks, and seeing consistent improvement happening on a regular basis. And if not, why? And being able to go back and target exactly where you are, and that's the benefit of a system, and then making adjustments to get that right away.
Yeah, and I want to give you credit because I sprung the 5 number on you, and you answered it fantastically. Good job.
Thank you.
It was very good. Thank you. So, talking a little bit about LinkedIn, some strategies. I have video on LinkedIn. You see just graphics, and you see straight up text. Is there a formula just from a regular posting standpoint that people should look at?
I think anytime we're doing anything with a post, I think that we should offer our potential clients something. And I would say something that's really valuable, something that is going to give them a taste of who you are. A lot of times people will think about, if I'm putting stuff out there for free, I'm not going to have really good stuff. What does that say about you? How is that really representing you? But really something that is powerful, something that they can see, wow, this is making an impact. I would definitely want to work with this real estate agent versus this real estate agent because this one does XYZ. This one cares about me and is going to represent me well and is going to show me some things that I didn't know. Something of value I would definitely have in what I market.
I want to back up because you've been saying a lot about relationship. You've been talking about the relationship with your vendor or relationship with your customer, or how do you, if a marketer is there, or let's just say there's a business owner and they would like to start marketing, but they would only like to do it on Zoom. They don't really want to meet anybody. What would you say the value of that personal relationship is today still for the business owner or entrepreneur?
You mean versus face-to-face?
Yeah. Say you're trying to do something strictly over the internet without ever meeting anybody in person, and you have an opportunity to meet people in person every once in a while through in-person meetings or going to an event or something. I
am a person who values connection. So I think that whenever we're doing business with somebody, you should have a relationship with that person. If they're handling your marketing, it's like they're babysitting your kids, right? Would you want to know the babysitter of your children? If you have children, yeah. If you have dogs, right? dog sitter. Want to know them, right? Want to make sure they're going to take care of everybody. So it's the same relationship. And the people that are willing to really take the time with their customers, take the time to really develop the relationship, get to know them, know who they are going to best represent your brand, and they're going to have the best mindset, I think, about what they say in the messaging and how they help you really come across to be the expert in your field or your brand in the best way. So I think there's definitely a value there. I think what you put into anything is what you get out of anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'll just add that if anybody wants to meet with Dina, she's in Orlando, so they could come and go to Disney World.
Yeah.
Not that you're doing open meetings right now, but I just throw that out there.
No, not open meetings right now, but no.
So we have a few minutes left. If you had a good, a nugget to give to a new entrepreneur, where would you say to start with their marketing strategy?
If you can get help, you should get help. That's number one, because especially a new business owner, I think you've got so many moving parts that you're focused on that it can be overwhelming. Even if you get really good advice from somebody, it can be really overwhelming to do it. I think it's not so much a knowledge thing, Brent, it's implement, because really you can have the knowledge of something but not know how to do it. It's like you read the book, you've read the instruction manual, and you're like, I still don't know where to start. What's the first thing I do? So having help, I think, in the areas that are going to be give you the quickest impact is probably number one, what I'd say for a brand, especially a brand new business owner, but really any business owner, but particularly a new business owner, because there's a lot of stress that comes into running a business, just running the day-to-day, let alone anything else.
Yeah, so ask for help and don't be afraid to go to an outside firm like yourself to ask for that marketing help, knowing that marketing is the most important part for your business.
Absolutely.
To bring in revenue.
100%, because it doesn't matter how good your product is if they don't know you. You could be the best pastry chef in town, and if nobody knows that you are, it doesn't matter. So people have to know where you are, they have to know how to get to you, and continually drive that traffic, that messaging to you.
As I close out every podcast, I do a shameless. Offer our guests the opportunity to do a shameless plug. Could be anything that you would like to plug. What would you like to plug today?
So for all the new business owners, existing business owners out there, one of the things that our company, High End Client, offers is that we want to offer to you guys particularly is a complimentary breakthrough session. So what you can do is you can get on bookcallnow.com, and I think we'll put it up on the screen for you guys, and you can book a complimentary breakthrough session. I'll tell you, it's a 90-minute session. It's valued at over $1,000, and it's complimentary to everyone on this podcast. And what you'll get is an in-depth call process with one of our business strategists that's going to walk you through a process that is absolutely amazing. It's going to bring to light some of the things that maybe you didn't even think about in your business that are keeping you stuck, and helping you get solutions to drive your business further, whether it's something that we offer or something that we point you to if we can't help you. So either way, it's going to be an amazing value for you guys. So I highly encourage every one of you to take advantage of that. I even do some of the calls sometimes. I really love talking to business owners and changing your lives and making an impact. And that's how our whole team is. We really want to help you guys reach your full potential and maximize everything that you can maximize in your business. So
yeah, I will make sure I put that link on the show notes so everybody can have it.
Absolutely.
As well as any other links that we have from today's episode.
Great.
Dina Buchanan, thank you so much for being here. It's been a very enjoyable conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome. Great talking to you.
Thank you for making it to the end of this episode of Talk Commerce. Please rate this episode wherever you download your podcasts. We are actively looking for people to participate in the Free Joke Project. Go to talk-commerce.com and sign up for your free spot on the Free Joke Project. If you are a business I will do a 30-second elevator pitch in the spot to help promote your business. That's talk-commerce.com.